Hello, I'm back. I'm not about to make a flower. While I'm waiting for the resin to heat up or warm up, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about what I'm using. So this I get from Pouring Your Heart Out from Julie Cuts. I bought it on eBay. This is what I'm gonna use for my white to make my lines. And then I use Let's Resin ink for my alcohol inks, and my wife wanted me to make her a pink and green flower today. So I'm going to show you. People have been asking me to show them how to make this, and I'm using Let's Resin 1-to-1 epoxy. So let's get this started. I'm actually waiting for my resin to heat up, and then I just use like a little thermometer, infrared. And I wait till it gets about 91 degrees, and then I pour a little bit into a cup, and then I'll be using a piping bag to pipe my lines. And so, give me a second. Oh yeah, and I got this mold from Julie Cuts on eBay. I love this thing. I've used it probably 50 times. But yeah, so you could tell it's been used. But yeah, I love these molds. You can find her on eBay. She has probably 250 items on her eBay store, and all of them look great. So let's see let me see what my temperature is. It's 91 degrees right now. So I'm just gonna turn on my scale. And for this, I use 1 drop per 10 ounces, or 10 grams, sorry. 10 grams, not ounces. And when I do that, so this mold I'll probably I'll make a little bit more, what do you call it, white for, I'll have some left over. So I'm gonna pour about 20 grams in here. And then I'm gonna put 2 drops. And then the rest, I'm just gonna pour in here. And get all that out. Use up all our resin. And then let's see. Set that off to the side. And so then I'll just take my little tool and I'll go around and I'll get some of these bubbles out. I found this little tool at Dollar Tree. Don't push too hard because it is metal. But I just swipe the corners just to get those bubbles out. I did put this in a bubble machine, so there shouldn't be anything in it. Wipe off my tool. I give the, turn on my, pop any bubbles that are in the center. Try not to get the edges, you will ruin your mold if they get too hot. Let's see, did I get all these bubbles? What's that? What am I seeing? Is it just the light? I think it's just the light. Okay, oh, there's a bubble there. Okay, got it. All right, and so my wife wanted a pink and green one, so I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna go with turquoise in the center. Or you know what? Let's go pink in the center. This is my hardest part right here for me, is finding the center. So I usually just stand up and I'll put a drop in. I'll go 2 drops there. She loves this peachy red, which is a very vibrant pink. And then I'm just gonna go around and hit it with the turquoise all the way around. I'll hit it one more time, 2 more drops in each corner right here. Because then I'm going to put more pink at the tips. hit that once more with another drop here. One more drop right in the middle. Save my pink. Oh, and then let's go here. I'm gonna put one here, one here. Oh man, I'm getting a little spilly. One there, one there, one there, one there, and one there. And just go around and hit every petal like that. All right, so now that I got that done, I'm gonna take my bloom paste, let's shake it up really good. And then I'm gonna put, and you're not gonna just drop a big drop in. Like I've watched Julie's video, she tells you not to do this, where you squeeze a whole bunch out. So just get the drop right to the tip. You know what, why is it not coming? Oh, was I supposed to do something to this? Let's see here. One second. All right, so you're just gonna get the drop right to the edge, and then let it drop in. Don't squeeze it out the drop. I just had to use a different one. I had a problem with it. My top exploded on me when I moved all my stuff out of the house, and when I left it in the garage too long, when I came back to it, the top had exploded, so I had to buy a new one. I haven't poked the hole, I guess, so something's going on with it. I still have a ton left in the other one, so. And then, so then you're just gonna mix it up. Mix it really good. And you're gonna get probably where it's nice and beautiful, all mixed in. And then I do something different when I pour my petals. A lot of people like to start from the center and work their way out. I don't. Let's see, set that down. And I'll just take my torch and I'll just pop any excess bubbles. And I'll take my handy little piping bag, and I'll pour that mixture in there. There we go. And I'll pour that in my piping bag. I don't know if you can see that. Shouldn't set my sticks so far away. Alright. Once I do that, then what I do is I'll pull the wire out. Never fails for him. He thinks he's such a huge dog. He's a little Chihuahua, but somebody must be letting their dog pee on our front yard. So then I'll take this and I'll make sure that it pours out a nice straight line. I could do a little bit more cut off there. And there we go. So what I do is I just make sure that I can just pour out a nice little straight line. That might have been too big, but we'll see. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll take my tool and I'll just mix these up a little bit so around the edge of the petal, so that it actually just makes the color spread a little bit better. And it looks really nice. So what I do, let's see. I think I got a big bubble in there. There we go. All right, so what I do is I start here and I start around the edge and I work my way around the edge of the flower. So I get as close to the edge and I get my white to go as far out. Oops. Oh no. Figures I'm making a video so I mess it up. Okay. And then I'll go around. It doesn't have to be perfect because once these start to spread, it's going to cover up kind of any mistakes that you make, hopefully. And I just go around and I make even lines all the way around. And I work my way to the middle. And then I come in and I just make it all the way to the middle. So then what I do is I come through and with this thing, so any of that starting point, bam, pull it into, I'll kind of like pull it into the other one so it doesn't leave a big blobby. And then here, I'll pull it there. And then I just draw my lines. So I'll get something to wipe my tool off with. And without touching the bottom, you're just gonna take, and I'm just gonna drag all the way out to the tip. Wipe it off. Drag all the way out to the tip. So I'm grabbing that pink and pulling it with me. So also when I put my petal, I do a little bit different. So then I'll come here. Sorry, I had a lot of coffee this morning. Today's my first day off for Thanksgiving break. I work for a school district, so we get this Wednesday off, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I finally got to get up and actually have some coffee before I started this. And I think I had 1 cup too many. And let's see. Drop that. And then what I do that's a little different is I'll come here and I'll drag out to this part. What I do is I do this when I flare out that flower. So when it pulls in, when it starts to come in, it actually makes the flower look, or the petals look more, what do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? Full. There you go. Oh, I didn't go deep enough for that one. There you go. And then last one. And then I'll take this and I'll just swirl them center. And that's it. And then I'll just let it sit for about, I don't know, 4 to 5 hours until it hardens up, and then I'll come back and I'll pour a backing for you. Oh, sorry about that. So yeah, that's how I do my hibiscus flowers. So this is the hibiscus mold. And then because the petals are so wide, I like to draw those lines to make them look, when they actually pull in, this petal is going to look full all the way from here. It's not going to leave hardly any gaps at the edges. So yeah, I'll come back and I'll pour my backing and we'll get that much closer to being done. Okay, I'm back. So this time my wife wanted me to use this light pink for the background. I mixed up 5 ounces of the epoxy resin, the Let's resin. I didn't wait for it to heat up at all. And then I'm gonna add in some of this light pink. And in here you can actually see where the petals pushed all the way in. And when I pulled out, it made these little points in the corners right here. So it kind of spread the flower out, which I like. It's, oh, little hair. And so now I'm gonna mix in some pink. This time I didn't put it in my bubble machine because I could just torch these off. It's no big deal. And let's see, so a couple scoops of that. Toss that. So once I'm done mixing all this, I'll pour the background, and then I will basically torch off any bubbles. And I know I don't wear gloves that much. I try to be very, very careful and not get anything on myself. I get more stuff mixed up in my project than I do on my hands. So once I'm done mixing this, I'll be pouring the background, and then we'll come back for the reveal. I can still see some, needs to be mixed a little bit more. It's a pretty color pink. Let's see, there we go. All right. So then I'll just take this, pour it on. And I like to actually fill up my mold. I don't like to leave like a small layer. I don't like that little lip that happens on my, let's see, let's get it up to the edge. And so when you push, just push to the corners. Make sure there's no bubbles that stick in or form into the corners. So that's why I pushed it out to the edge. And that one. All right. So I've got that, and I'll just take the rest. And right here, that you can see there's like a lip. I try to make it. I try to fill it up enough to where there's not that big old lip. It makes a really sharp edge. So I'll just fill this up. Actually, I really like this pink. It's the first time I've used it. But whatever my wife wants, she gets. All right. So there's that. Clean off my tool here. Oh, my bad. And so once after a little bit, all this will actually pull into the center. It should be like a really smooth pink. So, pop these bubbles. So one thing I do love about the bubble machine, the bubble remover, is I don't have to do this. So yeah. So once I come back, I will finish, or I will pull this out of the mold and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, till next time. Bye. Okay, we're back. And here's the reveal. I did over pour a little tiny bit. You can see it right here, a little bit, but I can take care of that easily. So this is what it looks like. I waited all night for this. Let's see, let's do the reveal here. And just pull away the edges. And let's see. All right. Bam. So yeah, I think I put it made it a little too heavy on here, so it made this. But yeah, you could tell how. So with it, I pull out the edges of the leaf, that it stretches the petal almost all the way to the edge, so it makes it more like this. If not, it would have pulled in and there would have been a big gap right here. So yeah, I like what it did to the center. Let's see if you can see that. So yeah. I really like that. My wife's gonna be, she loves this color and loves pink, so it kind of looks a little Christmassy, except for it's pink. But yeah, all in all, I think it turned out pretty well. All right, I'll look forward to making another video.